All
Kind
right, on to on to BYU lands a 5-star quarterback over Oregon. I thought Kalani Sitake had a good comment. I don't know if this was pre commitment or post. I don't really care. The comment holds up either way. When recruits get here, we pair them with current players and we're not in the room. No coaches, no parents, just player to player. You can't fake that. And our guys are awesome. They love being here and they tell the truth. If it wasn't a good fit, we'd know. That honestly goes a long way. Listen, I know money came into play here with this commitment. It always does with a 5-star. I think religion, I think the fact that he's part of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints certainly plays an impact with a kid committing to BYU. I'd really like to see some Baptist kids that are 5-stars commit to Liberty more often, but that's a story for a different day. But I do think I've bragged on this before. I do think the culture and the way that Sitake, the faith that's built in, I think the way that he's building that program and has built that program, I am a massive fan of watching BYU football. They're a ton of fun. They play the right way. I don't want to say that, culture won out here, but I do think, money aside, no matter what happens in December later, which may be great for BYU, may not, I do think that the way that they have built that program is pretty impressive, and getting Lyons as a 5-star quarterback is a testament to that.
I think, first of all, there's a lot of talk out there about like, hey, is Oregon going to swoop in and grab Ryder Lyons before he ever actually plays anywhere else? You know what I mean? Like, could he commit elsewhere and decommit from BYU? The thing this says to me more than anything, it's the first 5-star, I believe, to go to BYU since 2003, if I have that stat correct, or maybe
03 or 06, but it's been 18 years.
It's been a minute. It says a lot of things to me, and I know TJ here on College Football Addiction, you have a great source from BYU who's talked about the basketball program. They've thrown around a lot of money for that basketball program to be not just relevant, but a player, a legitimate player for the first time in a very long time in men's college basketball. Well, there's a big opportunity for BYU football to do the same in a wide open Big 12. We've talked about it all offseason. The Big 12 could be won by almost literally every team in that conference. If you're able to throw around money and jump ahead of some teams, you can be at the head of a Power 4 conference that potentially has 2 automatic qualifiers if we get this thing figured out in terms of the college football playoff. And if you actually land Ryder Lyons in the future, then boy, that just fits in great. And look what they've done with Bretzlaff, who I would say probably, it's hard to tell now because it's a high school kid versus a college football, actual college player. But does this Lions kid have more physical gifts? That's a question mark. Let's not forget, I know people will discredit it because of his NFL run. Zach Wilson performed very, very well at BYU. So they do have a track record of doing well with quarterbacks. This could be a good situation. Is this the beginning of the rise of BYU football within the Big 12? That's my question.
Okay. For starters, I want to preface this by saying, BYU fans, I love you. I do. And I love the Big 12, and I love everything about the Big 12. It's my favorite conference in college football. It is. Just to talk about, just to watch, because there's so much uncertainty every single year, including with Kalani Sitake, who I think is one of the most underappreciated coaches in the sport for how he's been able to carry on the success of Bronco Mendenhall and really take BYU to new heights. I think that this is good for college football, that BYU, a Big 12 team, is going out and they're putting their money where their mouth is and saying, we believe that Ryder Lyons can be a difference maker. We believe that Ryder Lyons can be the reason why we are not only a competitive player in the conference, but an actual national championship contender. And you know what? It does help that he is a member of the Church of Latter-day Saints. It does help that there are players who have gone out and have spoken to him privately, and that Kalani Sitake is not selling the identity of the program of LaVell Edwards Stadium, which, by the way, is one of the most beautiful landscapes in all of college football. Please, if you haven't, taken a game at LaVell Edwards on a Saturday night in the middle of mid-September to early October. It's one of the best environments you can imagine. I love that they are actually going out there and bringing in this type of talent, and they can bring in this type of talent. But I'm going to hold your hand, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I tell every SEC and Big Ten team. Until I see him sign on the dotted line, stand on campus, and take reps in the spring or in fall camp, he is available to every single team. What BYU just did was put themselves in a prime position to land a player. And if he is fully committed to the identity of what BYU culture is, he is going to shut down his commitment. He's not going to listen to anybody else. He is not going to tell anybody that he is interested in meeting with them or having conversations or going on a recruiting trip. But all he's done at this point is say, this is the asking price for me to go play for BYU. Can you match it? Can you over enhance it? And can you put me on a bigger pedestal to where I'm getting paid a significant amount to play for an Oregon, to play for a Washington, to play for any team out there? And I feel this way about every single team in college football. It's not a Big 12 or an ACC or a MAC or a Sun Belt or an SEC thing. It's just the nature of college football. Dallas Wilson is a player I am sold on of being a difference maker this upcoming season for Florida. I think he is a big reason why the Gators could get to 9+ wins and DJ Lagway could be the favorite to win the Heisman Trophy by early November. But remember, he was committed to Oregon, goes to Eugene, then asked to get out of his scholarship to then go down to Gainesville. The recruiting is not over just because if he says he's committed. Until that letter of intent is signed, until he is strapped on up and actually taking reps in practice, and really up until we get into the second wave of the transfer portal, I am not buying into that Ryder Lyons is fully committed to BYU. It's great that BYU is putting their money where their mouth is and that they're able to land a player of this magnitude. And it'd be great for the world of college football to say a Big 12 team is actually a player for 5-star talent and that we're going to make this a more balanced playing field. But until I see pen touch paper and he is on campus and he is in Provo, Utah, he is still available in my eyes, just like every single recruit is available for every single team in college football until they actually go ahead and show on up.
All right, call your shot just quickly here, and we'll go on to the wild card. Where does he sign? Where does he play? I'll say he sticks with BYU.
Yeah, BYU makes sense. Yeah.
I'm going to go bold, and I will say he will stick with BYU, but I do think that there will be at least one other team that pushes him over the edge, and they will offer more money.
I could see it. All right, BYU fans, so sorry that we all just picked your way. He's definitely going to be a Duck.
Now he's going to go to Washington. Now he's going to go there because they're going to pay him a crap.
We had faith. I had faith. I was hoping Cole would say something else so that we would not jinx you, but we may have just jinxed you.